Back here live at the Waterfront Village with my friend, the zombie, Jonathan. You're looking good. Jonathan just got an awesome face paint job. What do you think?
I make turtles.
It's now time for Big D Energy with four-time Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neal Rule. Live on the Woodward Sports Network, 99.1 and 93.5 The Roar, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
Yo, welcome back. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports
Big
Network.
D.
My name is Neal Rule. That dude over there is DMac, Darren McCarty, here with us today. As always, we got Sam Flannel. He's out in the streets with the flannel. Where are we at, Sam? We day 29?
Day 29.
Day 29, 365 consecutive days of flannel for Sam Flannel. We also got Spencer Raxter here in the house as well. His beard is burly. His beard is strong. It is not to be trifled with, folks. Is that fair?
I appreciate that, yeah. You didn't have that same tune earlier, but, I appreciate
Nah,
it
you
coming
do
back
stuff for the cameras. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you put on a show for the cameras and stuff
dude,
like that.
I just watched the preview back. Love the stare down, bro.
Oh, yeah.
That's you, my guy.
That's
Not to be messed with. It's just the way you guys can flip the switch. And I tell everybody the other day when we were doing the Claude Lemieux thing is when I went off script and I just yelled out to you guys. And on command, Spencer and Easy were up and they were posing and they got it down. I don't know if you choreograph, but you guys are on point.
No, we're ready
absolutely.
for it. Always down for some action.
You and Stick both are always down for some action. Robert Closia, first one in today, says happy birthday to me. Robert, happy birthday, my friend. Big-time contributor to the show, as you all are. And you guys can always tap in on our YouTube chat thread. Don't always agree with everything you guys say, but you're taking the time out of your day to watch the show. Least I can do is read your thoughts and interact with them. So certainly we do appreciate that. Klomp sauce in their tough loss last night. We will talk about that with the Red Wings and the Rangers game, everything that went on with that. The mock draft silly season is really apparent right now, and I've had and I know
fun.
like this is
Come
the
on,
playbook.
man.
This is the playbook. It's what they do. They're out of ideas officially, so now they start coming up with crazy stuff. We'll discuss coming up in just a little bit as well. I've been telling you guys I'm excited for Riley Greene. Like excited. Like he could be. We talked about all the young talent in the city. Riley Greene, I think, has a shot to be that top talent.
Is that your jersey? You going with a green over Torkelson jersey?
I think I would right now, yeah.
Right? So
I think
are you
I would.
a Cider over Raymond jersey?
I think that's fair.
Okay.
You got me.
I mean,
you
there's
got
no
me popping
wrong, guys.
though.
There's no wrong answer.
Yeah.
I'm just saying what it is because I think that I think Riley Greene might be a jersey pick for me too.
Yeah.
Might be my guy, but you can't, like to what we were talking about and saying yesterday, he just quietly goes about his business and keeps showing off that swing. So if I got to watch that at Comerica and he keeps producing, I'm good.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk about Riley Greene coming up a little bit later on in the show as well. Chuck Brewer says, Neal, you need to up your game. Just read our thoughts and make it easier for us. I can do that. I think I could do that. Why do you always hate on Michigan? Sign everyone that's ever. All I do is point out their schedule. Why you hate on Michigan? I didn't make that schedule. Michigan did.
It's tough preaching the truth, bro. It's tough keeping people accountable.
I saw your tweet that you sent me, too, about John Cena talking about the truth.
John
I
Cena
did.
and you.
Yeah.
Even Neal and John Cena are on the same page, so can't see me, I see you.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Chuck says Riley Greene has a hard hill to climb to top Cade. I know. Yeah, we're gonna get into that in just a little bit, though. Hey, here's one thing too, and this is off script. Spencer doesn't know this is coming. Nobody else knows that this is coming. And to do due diligence to see what's going on in the world, I flip through the Twitter for a little bit every morning, and just to see what everybody's talking about. This Wordle thing. All right. I don't know anybody that does it. And maybe I do, and they don't tell me. I don't get how it works. I don't understand the allure to it. And again, I don't judge, DMac. You know me. Like
You're already a linguist, right? You're already in the English. So, I mean, that's more like work, right?
Yeah.
The Wordle's more like work, and I think Spencer brought up a great point. is that, it's sort of like the corporate domination. The New York Times came in and sort of ruined it for everybody, and now everybody's complaining. But Fish was telling us beforehand that the whole world's on it, and he says, everybody he knows. And I said, how many people do you know? All the people in the world on Twitter and stuff like this. But
I don't know anyone that does it.
I think Armani's the only one that I know.
Armani does it?
I think Armani does it.
Very
we were talking
on brand.
about it, whatever. But it's the same thing. So I have it on my phone. I've opened it up, but I don't go back to
What
it.
is it? So is it like a crossword puzzle?
No, it's like a blank word every day, and you get 6 guesses. And if you put it's sort of like fill in the blank, and if you get the right letter in the wrong spot, it's one color, and if you get the right letter in the right spot, you get like 6 guesses or something. I don't know. It's sort of like a brain tease or whatever like that. But the bottom line is, anybody who's done crosswords, right? The New York Times crossword, they don't make it fun for anybody. Joey Kosher's the only one I know that can finish that one.
Yeah,
that's how smart he is.
So I don't know. Obviously, I see it every single day, and it seems like it might be on the downslope now. Is that Sam Flannel? You tell me. You're a man of the people.
I mean, I see it a lot, like Fish said, on Twitter and stuff. I actually know one person who does it. My future mother-in-law is very much a Wordle person. Shout out Maki Montiel Moisen. Yes, she does Wordle. I don't. So, but yeah, over Twitter, over Facebook, Instagram, I see a lot of people that still do it. What about you, Spencer?
My dad does it. I know that. He just got into it. I definitely see some people posting on Facebook and on Twitter still that they're into the Wordle game, but it has definitely fallen. Because I remember when it first came out, everybody was posting.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
couldn't
Jake
get away
Wagner
from
says it right. Remember that game, Chuck Woolery's Lingo? Remember Lingo on TV?
No, that was right before my time, man.
No, I remember Lingo. I mean, that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
You got to make the word, figure
Joey
out the
Two
word.
Times says it's sort of like Hangman, Neil. Okay, now it's starting to make some sense to me. So you guess letters, and if they're right, they pop up.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
They give you a clue or anything?
I don't think so.
No. So
Not doing
everybody's
it.
got their standard word they start with.
Yeah.
And that, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know.
All right. Detroit Dabber 313. My grandpa did every New York Times crossword in pencil. I think in pen.
That's savage. In pen.
In
You don't do
pen.
that. Do you know that is, explained it. Head of the
Yeah.
English department at a university. Wow, that's just,
That comes with the territory, right?
I would think. Oh, the Michelin chef made you a great meal.
That's like when people used to talk about how Rip Hamilton ran a mile every single day of his life, like a sub 5-minute mile. Ran a mile every day on the treadmill, no matter what, off days, whatever. Well, of course, like you're an NBA basketball player.
Well, that's because he could scoot around the button and hit that, that corner post up on the key.
People are telling me Lingo was early 2000s. Neil, Chuck Woolery was still on top of the game in the early 2000s, for real?
2 and 2, baby, 2 and 2.
Now that I remember.
That's the Love Connection. That's older than Lingo.
Okay.
You're gonna have to get on the Game Show Network. Bring it back in. Maybe go on a Lingo hole. Get deep dive into a Lingo hole later.
Deep dive into a Lingo hole. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And look, I know the fads come and they go. It just seems to me like I thought that was on the downslope. But you flip on Twitter and it comes up as a trending thing, and everybody's still kind of losing their mind. I thought we were past that. I thought we were on to the next thing, but I guess that we weren't. So, what are you going to do? We'll have some Lions draft talk. It's obligatory. I mentioned the fact that there are some crazy mocks coming out as well. And I like to kick the tires on everybody's opinion, see where you're at with maybe that second pick. And, what do people want to do? What do people want to do with it? Brad Holmes spoke to the media, said, hey, we've taken calls.
I
love that.
I think it's interesting. If you look at Corey Woods, our intrepid Lions beat reporter and everything else, is that we did kick the tires on Allen Robinson. The tires are being kicked around the league. My question to everybody out there, to the listeners, is have you changed? Usually week to week, because of the mock draft season and stuff, because we are within a month of the draft, that every week leading up to it, you're going to change your opinion, or somebody's going to be hot, right? Last week was Malik Willis. It sort of seems like we're hovering, right, in that temperature zone, waiting for somebody to say something.
Yeah.
Waiting for, you know what I'm saying? Like, waiting for whoever, the Jets, to make the claim on, they're going to trade down. That's what I think we're going to hear more so.
When are the Jags going to start negotiations with the number one pick?
What is that? And that's why I like the mock drafts. My question is to everybody out there, it's don't tell me what, tell me who. So past track record, who's good at knocking this down? That's why I go to our guy, Scott Bischoff. I mean, if you watch the draft with him or whatever, he's pretty dang right, especially last year sitting and watching it with them, like which direction teams are going to go. And just for a little bit of heads up. But, it's interesting. I think for me, obviously I was listening to the Morning Wood show and Juicy's all over Hutchinson. You have the I still believe that if Malik Willis is their guy, that you could see him at number 2. So, but there's no 100%, I'm sure they're going to pick this guy.
Right.
And I don't think that there will be, that there will be up until draft day. So.
Yeah, and you know exciting. How it works, dude. Everybody's team moved down, and I have a move down proposal for you guys that I'll hit you with in the second hour. I'll hit you with that proposal in the second hour. I'll see if I can bait you guys in on this one.
Gotta get that trigger ready because it's coming closer. So the consistency, it's sort of like the hot and cold game. You're getting hotter, so
we are inside a month, man.
I know, dude.
What are we gonna do? What's Big D Energy gonna do after the draft's over? What are we gonna be left with, man?
Celebrating, baby. Celebrating all the great picks and how in 2 years after my clock runs out on 34 games, we're gonna be looking really saucy and spicy.
Robert Closia says, "I miss High Rollers and Card Sharks." Now, Card Sharks was a great game. That was a great game.
Yeah. That led to In Between, which cost a lot of money.
We had a great In Between game a couple months ago. It's members of the media.
Really?
They got some commas in that pot.
Wow.
There was a comma in that pot.
Couple posts?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It was the Reaper was coming in that game.
That's a volatile game.
It is. It's fun.
You think hitting the post in hockey's rough. Hitting the post in between, that's tough.
Chuck Brewer, Press Your Luck was the game show I loved in the 80s. Press Your Luck was great.
Stop it, baby.
that whammy would come out. Mike G says, "Rule breaker, I ain't trading down. I'm moving on up like the Jefferson CEO." Lewis M., don't forget, Neal, we're going to have lots of USFL content and highlights. Oh, I know. You guys are going to be all over it for 1.5 weeks.
Michigan Panthers, baby.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, everyone's going to love it for about 1.5 weeks. And then you're going to see the talent out there on the field or lack thereof, and you're going to go, wow, this is bad football. And I'm going to say, yeah, it's bad football. We as a society have proven, and I know they say we love football, but we only love
NFL football.
We love good
football.
We're undefeated against
CFL
bad football. We are undefeated as a nation against bad football. Undefeated, never lost. They keep trotting it out there. We keep swatting it away.
We just won't put up for it. But would you like? But like arena football league and stuff like that, do you enjoy that?
I do. Unfortunately for arena football, my son really likes it. Like he watches it, the IFL it is now, the Indoor Football League, and he like watches it on their YouTube channel and stuff like that. And it's the same, right? Like they got some quarterback that the dude that won the national title for Clemson in 2015 or whatever is a quarterback of one of the teams. Never got a shot in the NFL, any of that stuff, and. He likes that angle of it. Like, this guy's a decent player, but I'm like, bud, no one cares.
But he does.
He does. And I'm sitting. And you know what, DMac?
But you're right for the masses or whatever. But again, the NFL dictates whatever else. I mean, college is huge too, right? But those are the two. That's 1A and 1B, wouldn't you say?
Right.
1A and 1B, and it's almost like no one else can compare. There's no room for a third.
Bingo. That's what it is. And I'll sit and I'll watch the games with him because I like that he's passionate about it. So I want to help just fuel passion. I don't care what it's about. I just want to help fuel the passion. So I'll sit there and every now and then I'll hear a name. I'll be like, oh, I remember that name.
Right. That's the whole. Oh, that's what happened to that guy.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly like that. When you watch your game with your son, if you want to do it, you know what's coming up. We mentioned Riley Greene and the Torque. Want to see him in action? At least do the pregame party. Yeah. Morning Wood, Big D Energy. and the bottom line will be downtown Detroit Friday, April 8th, starting at 8 a.m. Yes, get yourself to the brass rail for the Morning Wood Show. Then come on over to the music amphitheater across from the Gem Kitty Corner, where the big outside tent. That's where Big D Energy will be broadcasting. You can go to the game and then head back over to the brass rail for the bottom line for the after parties. If you're into partying, live DJs, broadcasts, boozing it up, and the keg holding competitions that I put the Woodward heavyweights in, nobody else has got a chance. Maybe you do. So show up. First opening day, first real opening day in 3 years. We want to be there with you. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal and DMac. Be right back.
At Wing Snob, staying humble's not our forte. We just have better wings. We're back at it again with our crispy golden brown fries and our famous boneless wings. Juicy, tender, hormone-free chicken. Your favorite signature sauces with no bone. Just when you thought Wing Snob couldn't get any better. Order online at wingsnob.com today. Wing Snob. We just have better wings.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
What up, though, everybody? It's Spencer for the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. You can host your corporate parties, team building events, or just come in with a family of friends like me, DMac, Easy, and Scott G. Rising are going to do on Saturday before the DCFC match. There are 2 ways to play. You can have $10 unlimited open play where you can stay there all day and throw your arm off, or private lane reservation where you can pay $120 for up to 10 people for 2 hours. And the best part is, you don't got to worry about food. You can bring in any food you want, make it at home, order it from Wing Snob, order it from anywhere else, bring it in, eat it right there. And of course, they have over 100 different beers and multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. And if you don't feel like making a decision, they got a $2 mystery beer vending machine. You put in $2, it pops you out a random beer, no hassle, no decision need to be made, just good beer right there. So come on down in person in Hamtramck and get your full on, or you can visit and check them out at foalingwarehouse.com. Again, that's foalingwarehouse.com. Come on down Saturday at 3. You might see me and DMac in there before the DCFC match.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Rule, DMac, Darren McCarty. We got Spencer, we got Sam Flannel. We're locked and loaded and ready to roll. Tammy Chin says, going to get her tickets for opening day with Woodward Sports. Appreciate that, Tammy. Rack, got my tickets for opening day. I'll see you guys down there. So it's on and popping. You guys, as you always do, you all will roll out. We certainly do appreciate that. Yes, by the way, in the YouTube chat thread, yes, Kelly Bryant. I saw him playing for the IFL this weekend, as a matter of fact, when I was watching the games with my son. Red Wings last night, and what's become a very on-brand performance for them. They fall to the Rangers 5-4. And DMac, it hit me last night. I caught up with some college buddies of mine, and we were watching the game. And it was really weird because I thought as they went into overtime and it's 4-4, I was like, hey, they were better defensively tonight. Like, that's how fast it's fallen. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, they were better tonight. But they weren't better.
They were better, but it was still unacceptable. I mean,
right.
It's frustrating, and it's frustrating for everybody. But again, you can't reiterate. It looks like you got your pound of flesh, though.
Yeah, I mean, the big Red Wing news yesterday, the team parted ways with Al Sabaka, the famed Zamboni driver. I know he had an official title with the Red Wings, building operations or something like that. Yeah, so he was terminated by the organization. This according to Ted Colfin from the Detroit News. No comment was made from the Red Wings. Al Sabaka refused comment as well. So, you know, I don't have any ins. And DMac, I don't know if you have anything that you want to share with the people out there. I don't know what your thoughts, what your intel has said. What say you about this whole thing?
I am still gathering information.
Okay.
Obviously, I mean, the elephant in the room, the first thing that I said is that if no one's taught, like, I don't know. I mean, it's the personal side. I mean, I'm torn. You know what I mean? I'm torn, but you got to look at who made the decision or who okayed it. And, you know, to me, you know, I don't know if this was something that it sort of like pushed out the door or if there was something that happened. Yeah, I see in the chat thread, you know, Dabber's saying that he heard some stuff or whatever. Yeah, we all heard some stuff. But here's the one thing that I tell everybody, I tell you. Come back to me with the facts and the truth, and if there's accountability for certain ways, I ain't afraid to say anything.
Right.
But it's also knowing, I try to lead by example as you can't just, you know, you got to take in all the information. This is a sensitive subject, especially for a lot of us. I mean, Al Spock has pretty much raised all our kids when they were at the rink. He's Uncle Al. I mean, there's so many things. I see, you know, Tammy's husband Dan was supposed to get a Zamboni ride. Dan's an older gentleman too, but it's part of Red Wing history, and you miss out with Al. All I would say though, right? Because you brought up something, right? And you're asking, did it have something to do with how bad the ice was? And I would say to you, well, how bad the ice was is because Al's gone because he hasn't been there since February. So if you see the problems you're having with the ice, you know, it just goes to show you.
I mean, guys were spilling all over. I mean, just randomly spilling.
I'm just saying, and here's the thing that you're dealing with that he was so great at was the humidity as the weather changed in playoff time, because the outside temperature affects. Now, you have all the state-of-the-art stuff, but if you don't know how to run the machine, right, then how does it work? So, to me, it's a sad. It's such a sad time. But I will report back if I do hear or we hear something or there's accountability to be had on either side, you know, to get the truth will always come out. It's 2022. So I just hope that I just hope that somebody didn't go out of their way. You know what I'm saying, Neil? Like, didn't go out of their way and sort of Al got used as a scapegoat or something like this, like that's not right. But I mean, I'm just gonna reserve and say that no matter what Al does, he's a great guy. I love him to death. He's a big part of my life and all of our lives. But again, at the end of the day, you know, if I'm gonna say #Wiser Plan,
it's across all fronts.
It's across the board.
Yeah.
So that's my first question, right? And this is sort of taught is like, look, what isn't to be asked? Because I got to think that the question is, you know, to Stevie, because I think I would have thought he had to sign off on it. If that's not the case, I don't know what is, but these are questions that need to be answered. So
no, absolutely. And it's one of those things too. And I didn't even think about it till just now when you brought that up, where you're like, #Wiser Plan. I forget that, right? Like that's a part of the organization. It is. And
right. I mean,
I'm sure it was a tough decision. I'm sure it was, but there's reasons. I guess that's more of the story. There's a reason. We don't know what the reason is, but there is a reason. It's not just somebody just woke up one day and said, hey, you know, let's make this move just for the sake of making the move.
Yeah.
Things don't work that way.
So I got my best people on it.
There you go. So DMac will keep you in the loop as far as what is going on. And Tony D asked me, how did the USA qualify for the World Cup with a loss? They had goal differential locked up, so that's why you saw the effort that you saw last night too. So we'll talk about that a little bit later.
You know, to our conversation yesterday. Not only that about guys being hurt, when it doesn't mean something, it's not like you're mentally trying not to get hurt. That's when you do get hurt, when you don't play hard. Does that make sense? That's what I was worried about last night. I'm glad they got through and they had the reasons to play. And obviously if they were all on the same page, but I think they got out of there. They're happy with the way they got out of there. Hopefully they're still 100% healthy.
Yeah. Let me see here on our YouTube chat thread, and remember, you guys can tap into that. Tammy says, I don't think Yzerman had anything to do with this. This might have been an Illich decision. Chuck says this was probably above Stevie's pay level, and we'll find out. the truth will come out eventually, and we'll see what the story. I know everybody wants immediate answers right now, but now those answers aren't available right now. But in time, they will come out, and certainly we'll keep you informed here on Big D Energy as to what is going on. And, the bottom line through it is this. The game did take place yesterday, and it was more of the same as what we saw. I know Dylan Larkin in the postgame presser said something to the effect of, the effort was better. We wanted to be better last night. And I don't know. Again, I go back to the story I told DMac when I was talking with my friends last night, where it's 4-4. They coughed up the lead, and I was like, well, it was better. And DMac's just get like that look right there. DMac's giving me the Iserman, the Iserman look right now. But DMac,
they played harder.
They did.
It's more glaring of the. It's almost the intent. They're not intense and they're not hard in the hard spots, especially out front of their net. And the way that, the Rangers and other teams have been able to utilize a lot of it is that first pass. And there's a couple that one went offside and stuff like the bounces. But here's the apparentness. So what you're saying, what it should be is they play is. I can't blame Nedeljkovic for the way that he's played and different things like that, even though you say, how can you with the goals against? He's got nothing in front of them. They'll play good, look good, and then boom, breakdown, right? Tic-tac-toe. You look at the tying goal, I know it was a power play, but there's 3 guys standing out front, not even touched, guys going after sticks and stuff, so that's not winning.
Well, the thing with me, DMac, is on those plays, you talked about that game-tying goal and then the game winner. And look, you forgot more about hockey today than I'll know. But even I saw that developing and where the position of where everybody was on the ice. And I looked up at the television. I said, they're going to score here. And then 2.5 seconds later, they scored.
You just know.
Yeah, but that's – and this has become like a common occurrence, man.
That's the consistency, and that's the whole thing, right? That's why everything everybody's saying and not arguing with, it's just that don't act like we're 2 or 3 years down the line when you got to make these apparent rash decisions and get it out, because you're at the beginning, not the end. And the big thing is that the guy who's putting it together, Steve Yzerman, understands that. Stay the course, stay the course, stay the course. And that's from experience, not only as a player, but also doing it in Tampa. Because remember, Tampa did it the hard way. Don't you remember when they won the President's Trophy and lost first round to Columbus? And then came back the next year and got pushed again, but it was end up to win? Those are the adversity things. So this is only going to, in my opinion, for the team that's going to be here, they can go back and draw on this, right? So, but
I hope something comes out of it.
There's definitely a miss, and it'll be addressed. It'll be addressed. So what the thing is what's happened, Neil, is at the beginning of the year you think, okay, hopefully we got 4 guys, 5 guys that are going to be here, whatever. Oh, the year begins to the All-Star break. Oh, man, maybe we got 8 or 9, maybe 10. And then after this or whatever, okay, maybe we got 3 or 4 again. Reality checks in, but that means that there's guys coming down the pipe. It's not like...
Hey, Mo Seider's going to win Rookie of the Year, right?
He better.
He's got to, right?
Dude, I don't know. Chris Osmond's on the Hall of Fame. How do I know what these guys think?
He's got to, right?
What?
That last one was just...
I vote for... I don't know. It seems that everything else is pointing where the pushes to Zegras and pushes to all these other guys, Bunting in Toronto and whatever like that. But talking to all former NHL defensemen or whatever, and their amazement at this kid, right? Yeah, Neil, he should, but so should Cade Cunningham. It's sort of dealing. Which is, so who deserves more of the Rookie of the Year, Cade Cunningham or Mo Seider?
That's a good one.
When we come back.
See, I like it. I like what you did there, DMac. And I got to admit, that last one, me poking you, that was for my own entertainment. That was for no other reason. I did it for my entertainment.
Throw that up on the thing.
Because I'm a jerk.
Who deserves Rookie of the Year more, Cade Cunningham or Mo Seider?
Yeah, let me tell you about the sports marketing agency. SMA's been leveraging pro athletes and other notables for a decade against the issues around mental health and substance abuse disorder. With the help of NFL alumni, Sean Jordan has been able to take a stand against these issues and save lives. Go to woodwardsports.com. Check out their podcast. This is the F Word, a series on fentanyl. It's a problem throughout our community right now, and nobody's really talking about it, but the sports marketing agency is. And if you're struggling with substance abuse or mental health issues, they are here to help. Go to thesportsma.com. One more time, thesportsma.com. It's a sports marketing agency.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Rule, DMac, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here as well. Happy to have all y'all with us on a Thursday. Hard to believe it's Thursday already, but that's the way this is working. We're talking Red Wings right now, and it's sad because I've normalized a 5-4 loss to say, oh, they were better defensively today. And then that wasn't, it's not hot take. It's nothing that's formulated, nothing that was predetermined. That was literally the feeling I got after the game was over. When they went into overtime, that was literally the feeling I got, which is kind of sad to say, but it is, I guess, to some degree. It's normalized. And look, we'll go through the checklist. And DMac, we have the question on here from Lane Hartman. DMac, how much of this do you put on the guys versus put on Blashill? And you kind of addressed this yesterday, but Lane wasn't with us yesterday.
I mean, at the end of the day, right, if what do I see? I see that the message is turned into more of peanuts. You know what I mean? It's sort of worn out where you can push these guys to. But the responsibility, it's a shared responsibility throughout the organization. That's what the Red Wings are, is that what's your part in it? And Jeff Blashill is going to be the first one that he's not, whatever it is, getting the most out of his players, and it's the frustration. I mean, he's still preaching sort of the right message to the young guys. I always go back to is that he's the right coach right now because Steve Yzerman says so, and what's the pros and cons, weighing the pros and cons. This was brought to my attention yesterday. And I want to thank my boy Billy Felsner because he sent me this, and I hadn't thought about it. So, and by the way, Bill, you just had surgery. Take it easy. Slow and steady wins the race, right? It's the destination's an oasis. It's all about the journey. So don't be overdoing it trying to get back. The only way you're going to get back on the ice, right, is to make sure you're healthy. But in saying that, keep that brain working because you got me thinking. He sent me this. Wow. And it says Jeff Blashill, the Red Wings head coach for now. Rumors have Yzerman waiting for Igor, his replacement, and Igor Larionov. Really the first time that was brought up.
The professor.
And I always go by my initial reaction, read sort of like in hockey. What did you say? Russian?
No, the professor.
Oh, the professor, yeah. And you know what? I know he's back over involved, has been involved. I thought he was general managing, but think about that. That might be the play. This might be the play that they're working for. So what it got me to thinking is that the headspace where Bill's at is that Stevie's already ahead, and he's probably already addressed that, whether it's not is or it's not. But I would not I'd like to see what the betting odds for Igor Larionov are. Probably plus 1,500, maybe 1,200.
Yeah,
1,000. I'd bet it. I'd bet it.
No, all right.
That's the
okay.
same. And I'm trying to put it together with the young guys and this and that with everything else. That might be it. Or maybe it's an Igor Sergey thing.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just telling you, boys,
DMac.
if the band's coming back, he's bringing the band back. But here's the thing. Sergey doing the GM over in Russia and coaching and stuff. Like, there's something there that makes sense to me. So I guess the word is don't poo-poo it.
DMac.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
DMac. Don't do that to me.
Wait, what did you do before the break? For your pleasure, I just threw one back at you. You can't.
Man. Here we go.
Hey, you can hit me, Pat. Pat, you can hit me. Remember, I'm a deathmatch wrestler. I do hit back. Anyways, that was just, that's how you need a bet.
Yeah, all right.
Touche. Right?
It's been going on for years.
Back in the day, we used to call that tennis or ping pong.
Yeah.
In today's day and age, Drapes would call it pickleball.
And the pickleball. There you go. Jenna Newman says, hi, Big D Energy, just checking in, saying hi. I swapped at work, so I can't always keep up with the show. Jenna, appreciate you. Appreciate you sliding in right there. And remember, the podcast page is open as well, Big D Energy, wherever you get your podcast. You can rewind, fast forward, do all that stuff on there. But that is interesting, the Larionov thing, which I hadn't heard of that at all, completely out of left field to me. And I'm not one of these guys, right, where... You know me, DMac, where I just don't want it. Well, he's
you
like
say Michigan.
Yeah, like just because he played, he's not automatically the fit to be the coach. Like
it's the same reason Steve Eisenman, just because he's the GM and he did the GM whatever like this, but they're out there doing it and coaching. These guys are in the game. It's just not like, out of the dressing room. This is what guys want, being around the game, whether it's been agent-wise, coaching-wise, GM in different leagues and stuff. These guys love being around the game. And why wouldn't it be now to set the sights on getting themselves prepared for this Red Wing team when it's ready? And here's the process. What it's done, responsibility, I think it's sped up the decision-making that Steve had to make. I think in the perfect world, Blashill's here for next year, too. And we're having this conversation at the end of next year, but it's because of potential this team has, instead of, sort of diverting and going the other way, which what happened the end of this season.
Robert says Igor coached Russia in the World Junior Championships last year. So certainly, like this isn't like the typical discussion that we have when we're talking about the Pistons. If they had a coaching opening, someone says, "Well, make Vinnie Johnson the coach. He was the microwave." It's not like that.
There. I would. If Igor Larionov was the coach and he wanted me on his staff, I would seriously consider it. It's the only guy.
Yeah?
Yep.
How would he play? I get the feeling that a guy like Igor Larionov is somebody that doesn't have to raise his voice, that when he walks in the room, if you're a Dylan Larkin, if you're a Mo Sider, you're like, that's Igor Larionov. Listen to what everyone shut up and listen to what this man has to say. And he doesn't have to yell. He doesn't have to be demonstrative.
It's almost like what Ted Lindsay would walk in the room.
Yeah.
The accountability level or whatever like that. You just, this is like, and in the hockey world and in the Red Wing locker room, because of what the history means and because Dylan Larkin's the captain, because of him knowing the history, it's, it's palatial. You know what I'm saying? It's huge. It would be huge just because it brings this sort of, just like when Slav and Igor came to our team as players. There's this legend and lore that is real, and the way that he's set. So I think back of how, Igor, all the things that I learned, like all my history, geography, sort of like a lot of things in life was talking to Igor and sitting down. I mean, I make the joke in my comedy that, we knew him as a professor, but he got screwed because his nickname should have been Google, right? because somebody'd ask you a question, to give him an answer you didn't know, and they'd say, that's not right. Where'd you hear that? And they'd say, Igor told me. And they'd be like, oh, it must be true.
Jake Wagoner says, fill the Wings front office with my favorite players and shut up and take my money. LOL. And you know what? Again, the Igor thing, and I just heard this. Like, you guys brought it up. DMac brought it up. This is the first I've ever heard of it. And upon initial glance, that feels right. And when you talk about coaching Russia at the World Junior Championship, that's not nothing.
And that's
World
Junior,
I'm saying?
So that's a younger. So he works with the younger mentality. Sort of the kids, the definition. And I know from my personal experience point of view is that the culture Igor Larionov would bring back to the Red Wings is like what's going on now. Niet. No, it's done. It's it's old school, and I think common denominator when he would sit down and talk to the guys as a group and individually and let them know his journey. Because when you understand the man and what he's come from, what he's sacrificed and how it used to be or whatever, it gives you something that you want to play harder, you know, as a teammate or you know, so be it, even if it's as a coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Shaquan Hill. Hey, Neal, answer my questions. Do you guys talk Browns on here? Hey, Shaquan, keep Baker Mayfield the hell out of here. There, that's our Browns portion of the show for you here today.
Keep the brown M&Ms out of the bowl.
Got no interest in Baker Mayfield. Is that enough for you? Just like you guys don't, apparently. But you know, you're gonna have to cut him and just let him ride off into the sunset. That satisfies the Browns portion of the show, Shaquan. So there you go. I answered your questions. Tune in tomorrow for more Big D energy here on the Woodward Sports Network. No, but we are talking Red Wings, and DMac's got me excited with this Igor Larionov talk and all of that. And again,
but I think that you made the great point, Neal, is that when we throw things out in the air, and so me as, you know, sometimes I may be clouded because I'm biased because on the inside, but when you say as the fan and whatever else, oh, that makes sense. You know, it doesn't not make sense.
Yeah.
So we'll wait and see. Would that make everybody, if you knew, right, that Igor Larionov was coming down the pipeline, you're going to enjoy the rest of the season no matter how many goals they give up?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so the fact of whether it's Igor Larionov or not, it'll be that caliber of a person.
But I did have to check myself, too, yesterday when I heard. And they've lost 10 of their last 12. Which, you know what? If I'm going to be consistent, good.
Right.
The second you can't make the playoffs, you're penalized for winning.
Well, we haven't talked about that, about how the makeshift, are the Wings not doing the greatest, you know, sort of tank, even though they can't win the lottery anyways, but it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, but better and better and better to the draft capital, right? Draft capital guy. Look at right, here's the benefit. Now is when you want to do it, right? This is 91, 92, 93. Back in those days, if you weren't around, go see climbing the mountain and then falling down, right? So we're in way better position, even though, what are we, up to over 6 goals against now? It had to have gone. Dude, the 11th spot, the 5, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Whoa.
I looked at the over yesterday, 6.5, right? And I was like, this will probably be in by the second period.
Yeah. We're sitting 9th as far as draft positioning goes. So it's been hey, I got to be consistent, right? The second you can't make the playoffs, you're penalized for winning.
Absolutely.
And they've taken the least of that penalty.
Absolutely. So
just be consistent.
And the landslide.
No, it certainly has been a landslide.
Yeah, exactly. You know what a landslide of cash is? $100,000 cash. 100 G's, yeah, Lady Jane's a haircut for men. Not only do you walk in, you sign in, you sit down, before you know it, you're looking fabulously new and clean. Maybe you got the King's treatment. Now you can ask some wonderful stylists, no matter where you go to a Lady Jane's, about entering into the draw to win $100,000. Anywhere there's a Lady Jane's. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Why? It's wicked awesome. Big D Energy, Neal Rule, Darren McCarty, Spencer and Sammy Flannel in the blue today. Be right back with Blue Sports Network.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Rule, DMac, Darren McCarty. We got Spencer. We got Sam Flannel. We got it all here on Woodward Sports Network. If you're listening on the radio, hello, 93.5 The Roar, your new all-sports play on the radio in Detroit. Also available 94.7 HD2 as well, 99.1 FM. Also, Hronik taking some heat in the
as he should.
It's been rough. It's been rough.
You know, and the imperativeness too. I wondered what it was last night, but the plus minus speaks volumes. So, you know, I love Philip Hronek as a person and whatever, but I got to say that this year maybe like he's somebody that has regressed a little bit. So still trying to find his spot. I still believe in him. I still think he's young enough and stuff like this, but people are saying that their eyeballs do the test.
I'm surprised in our YouTube chat poll, and every day here on our YouTube channel, we try to put polls in there, get interactive with you guys. DMac just out of the blue came out with a great question. Who deserves Rookie of the Year more, Cade Cunningham or Mo Sider? And DMac, I'm stunned. Cade Cunningham checking in with 69% of the vote. Does that surprise you?
Cade.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Who deserves it because of whatever more? Who would be just for what he's done consistently and meaning to that team? And I think from watching, and here's the thing: the goalie Swayman in Boston as the rookie or whatever, he's like legit. And sometimes when goalies step up earlier, like. If he won, I wouldn't be upset because I think he's deserving along with Sider. It's that I just don't like how the NHL just pumps all the tires on Zegras in Anaheim because he's flashy and he's
that
a great
one goal.
player. But it's what Mo Sider does, and I think it was nice. You know, Mo Sider and Cade Cunningham are getting some national attention, right? To realize that they are the real deal. But I think just Cade especially, you know. In this last month or so, really has stepped up, and I think this the value is Neal, is the way he does it differently, and the way that we're always used to all these young great players being such good individual stars, but not making everybody around them better, right? So not only is Cade Cunningham like a Rookie of the Year, but he should get, in my opinion, like a couple, you know, how many votes do you get for what place in MVP voting? But like some far away, you know, 5th, 6th, 7th, 10th place, you know what I mean? He's been the value to this team even more so because he's made everybody around him. Now it doesn't make them a better team in the long run. They're in the perfect storm situation, but I voted for Cade. I think it's really close. I think I had to decide, but
I just figured with our audience, the gap wouldn't be as big as it is, you know, and you know, there's some theories behind it too. You know, we have CJ Schneider says the only reason people are voting for Cade is because Mo is leaps and bounds ahead of the rest. And you know, it's funny to me where you look at what Cade's numbers are, and look, we put the graphic up there yesterday, the Detroit Pistons media department put out there, where the numbers, I don't think we even recognize the numbers with Cade. And maybe that's hitting home right now, where you look at his ranks among rookies in the NBA, and he's in the top 3 in like every single category, even as a guard. I don't know that we realize, and you know, Spencer's putting that up there right now, leading NBA rookies in scoring, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think we realize how dominant he's been, and the record hurts him. It does. But this isn't surprising. We talked about this when we opened up the season. I said, DMac, get everybody ready for this, to where the record could be very comparable to what it was last year, and they can be a much better team. And I think that really played itself out.
You know what I like about Cade too is you can tell he realizes they're not there yet, and but he just, I can tell he doesn't like losing. Right? Like there's a pride in him to whatever, but he realizes what he's dealing with right now. Right? So, but you see it in the competitiveness, you see everything else. So, Doughboy Steve said, Anson Carter, Eddie Owen, my boy Keith Jones doing the game said, with Mo Sider is that he plays the toughest position, right? And plays it well and makes grown men look silly. Which it's the points and the physicality too. So, I mean, you can't go wrong either way.
No doubt.
You choose for, hopefully they both win.
And Riley Greene, hopefully it's the third, which we'll talk about him coming up.
Wow.
Dude, I'm long, and I'll explain.
And then Malik
in
Willis.
the second hour. And then Malik Willis. Let's Go. You had to do that. Now you're going to get the folks triggered. Why not, dude? Let's talk some draft right now. It's that mock draft silly season right now where everyone has come up with every conceivable scenario, and they've all put it out. And now we're inside a month away. So now we're at the point of the mock draft season where the ridiculous has to pop up. So, and it's apparent. Our YouTube chat thread, 71% you say Cade deserves Rookie of the Year more than Mo Sider. So I have a question for everybody then, because the latest mock draft we had, and Spencer, who had this mock draft again?
Mike Tannenbaum.
Mike Tannenbaum has the Lions picking Sauce Gardner, the cornerback from Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And, he's very well regarded.
You can't do that out of principle to the fact of what you're sitting on. No. Come on, man. Now he's trolling you.
Yeah.
That's got to be a troll job.
Well, DMac, we see this. It's the progression of the mock draft season
because somebody's got to be different.
Somebody's got to be different. Someone's got to be ridiculous. This is going to get a ton of clicks. And I don't hate the hustle. I'm in that business too. I don't hate the hustle. Okay. But with that being said, I got a question for you guys for the YouTube chat poll right now. Malik Willis or Sauce Gardner?
You can't draft a corner for the same
reason. Death is not an
reason.
option.
Listen, if you're going to draft Sauce Gardner, then you would just as well draft Kyle Hamilton because that's the money argument's still there.
Now, I would say if you break it down dollar for dollar, you do get a little bit better value to the market in taking a corner than you do a safety.
Oh, you do?
You do, yeah.
Okay.
Corners make a little bit more coin.
That scares me.
Yeah, you do. Corners do make a little more coin.
But it doesn't scare me because I don't think that's this regime. I think if that's the guy they want or whatever, then they'll be looking more to you can get him if you traded back, for a couple picks, in the first round. You know what I'm saying?
No, Robert Closey, you can't pass. Let's drop that one on the YouTube
just
chat thread. You got to take one. Malik Willis or Sauce Gardner? Who do you want, people? And then I have a scenario that will play out a little bit later on too when we're talking Lions in the second hour of the show. I got you guys trapped on this one, and I can't wait. It popped in my head when I was driving here this morning. I can't wait for it. Keep me honest on that. Don't let me forget about that one, Spencer, because I got everyone trapped, and I'm going to love it. But, yeah, I want to know. You got to pick. So, DMac, you're Team Malik then in this whole scenario.
Yeah, all day.
74%. Early on here, 74% you say Malik Willis, 26% say Sauce Gardner. But just remember, everyone, we're getting to that point, as we said, the silly season with the mock draft and things like that. But you're right, though, DMac. I mean, you can't. They can't do that, right?
Like, I mean, I guess if you tell me that money-wise, you can, but no, you can't. Being the Detroit Lions and stuff like this, and I know in the article it was mentioned about picking a coot and stuff like this, but that doesn't get you anything anywhere, right? I mean, that would be the worst pick, right? Would that be worse than Kyle Hamilton or no? That should have been Kyle Hamilton or Sauce Gardner. That should have been
No.
Yeah,
no.
Poll if you're going defense.
Well, I need to gauge. I need to gauge how well I'm doing with the people, keeping them DMac? Prepared
for Malik Willis getting drafted number 2.
Be prepared. That it's an option, and it's a deeper option than we think. I just like to measure my progress with everybody and see where we're at and see if the people are accepting of it. I think that this is a step in the right direction.
Although it could have the best name in the draft.
Sauce Gardner, yeah.
Dude.
So Malik Willis up to 84%. So that's good. I think that's good, Sam Flannel. Don't you? Do you think I'm doing a good job in these streets?
I think it's good that Malik Willis is. I think it shows your influence a little bit, but it also shows how bad of an option that Sauce Gardner would be at number 2. I think he's a 10 to 20 pick at best.
It's said in the chat that is he even the best cornerback available?
No, it's Derek Stingley Jr.
It's what I'm saying is that's arguable. So it's not like we're talking Kyle Hamilton. There's this, as projected, this freak cornerback to whatever. I mean, again, it's the same argument as with the Cuda. You can draft him there, but he's got to be Deion Sanders. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
I don't believe that he is. So You're leaning towards Malik Willis. You're using which vegetables do you like? Do you hate least?
Well, DMac, here's one here. Mitch Gatsky says went to Cincinnati and locked everybody up, and there is that contingent where it came out that Alabama in the national championship semifinal, Alabama said we would like to avoid messing with this dude. They said it, and they didn't say it like that, but they said the game plan was very cognizant of Sauce Gardner being out there. Like there was, and that's Alabama. You know what I'm saying?
That's great. So that's still not, NFL. That's great, but I know there's wide receivers making 25. There's not guys in college yet or whatever like this making $20-25 million a year. He hasn't gone up against those wide receivers, the men, the stuff like this. I get it, but it's a different game. Now we'll see. So that's great. That's great game planning to realize the talent on the other side. But to me, just because Alabama won't throw that way on you in the national championship game doesn't mean that you validate second overall pick.
Which is fair. And again, I didn't make this. This was Mike Tannenbaum, who to some is a respected respected NFL mind.
Oh
right?
yeah, he was in the front office for the Dolphins for a while. So I mean, he's got to know something, And I mean that draft was awful, but we'll see.
No, we will. We gonna see. We gonna see.
We gonna see.
Yeah, there we go. Cintron World's an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavored energy beverages, premium bottled water, and Revitalizer shots. It's the official energy drink of the Red Wings. Proud partners with the Detroit Pistons, also the exclusive energy drink of Detroit City FC, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and of course, great taste, Cintron is your top choice. Buy online at cintronworld.com. Use the promo code RedWings10. That'll save you 10% with shipping included. Drink it. Live it with Cintron. Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Neal Rule here for Wing Snob, and I was told it takes a snob to know a snob. So here I am talking about Wing Snob, the best traditional wings in the game. Fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken. The signature sauce is incredible. Jamaican jerk, the lemon pepper. Wings are tossed to perfection in any sauce that you choose. When the wings are this good, you're allowed to be a snob. We're pulling up on lunchtime right now, so go to wingsnob.com. Get that order in. Wing Snob. They just have better wings. I dug deep for that one, DMac. That was a good one. That made you pop.
That was really, really good. Matter of fact.
Thank you. Our guy Shaquan here in the YouTube chat thread says that I'm balding. Said he wanted to hear. Look, Shaquan, see, it's very much not the case, my friend. I'm proud of that too. Proud of the hair growth. So.
Oh, don't be talking about my party's hairline. I'm going to come and slap you.
It's luscious, man. It's luscious. I just didn't feel like doing the hair today, Shaquan. Is that cool? Appreciate you tapping into the show, though. Hope you stick around, my friend. You are the chat, Shaquan. You are. You're my guy, man. You're absolutely my guy. Detroit Lions. Brad Holmes was out talking to the media. Said a lot of stuff. My favorite thing that he talked about was we've been fielding calls on the number 2 pick. Nothing concrete. We've been taking calls. And I love that. And, man, you guys are very decisive in our YouTube chat poll today. You have to pick one at number 2, Malik Willis or Sauce Gardner. 78% of you say Malik Willis. So, and look, everybody wants to trade down. That's universal, right? Is that fair to say? I ask everyone in the chat. You guys all want to move down. Sam Flannel, you want to move down?
Yeah, if we can move down, we should move down.
Spencer?
Yes. Yeah, 100% move down.
DMac? You want to move down, acquire draft assets?
I do if that's what Brad Holmes wants to do.
Okay, fair.
But I like, I mean, if I had the choice, to build this team from where they are, I think that's the advantage. But I don't know how much they stock value somebody at that pick.
Right.
Like if they're sitting there going, well, this is their guy, then this is the guy.
D. Cool says, Neal, you perfectly represent the perfect wing stop. Oh, it's not a coincidence that they had me do that read, my friends. It's not a coincidence. Harley Fife says, love the show. Somebody has a birthday tomorrow. That's right. This guy over
Today's
here.
Gordie Howe's, rest in peace.
And Pavel Bure's. Rest in peace, Gordie Howe.
Of course, you had
And
to add Pavel Bure.
my second favorite hockey player of all time, Pavel Bure. Second only to Sergei.
I appreciate that, Neal.
No, today is my second favorite hocky players of all time.
That's what
birthday.
I mean. I appreciate that, Neal.
Yeah.
You know,
not tomorrow.
Yeah.
Pavel Bure's birthday's not tomorrow.
Birthday's tomorrow too.
No. Second favorite.
Tomorrow's your
no,
favorite.
it's good. You can have it. You're all about the speed, though.
Yeah,
all
the
about
Flash.
You like the Flash.
The Ferraris.
Exactly.
You know, the tennis
about
player
the bougie,
girlfriends. Yeah.
Just like your Tesla outside. Neal upgraded to a Tesla, so he really doesn't care what you think about
No,
his hair.
I did not. I did not upgrade to a Tesla. I parked next to you, DMac. You know I don't have a Tesla. No, I am. I'm about the Ferraris. I'm about the Russian tennis player girlfriends. I'm about the contract offers in Anaheim and Miami and
Especially
stuff
if
like
they
that.
share, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, though, where was I? Oh, yeah, Lions draft talk. That Brad Holmes said that he's fielding calls right now. And look, everybody in the world wants to move down. I know this. No, we're not going to talk about cream of wheat today. Everybody wants to move down. I know this. So I have a scenario for you that we'll put in our YouTube chat thread. And this is out of the blue. Spencer wasn't ready for this, so lay off Spencer. I'm hitting with this one out of the blue. So here's my scenario for you guys. Everyone wants to move down, right? Unilaterally.
Yeah.
If Jacksonville doesn't take Aiden Hutchinson, and he's available at 2, but you have an offer to move down, what you doing?
Moving down.
What do you want to do? Do you want Aiden Hutchinson, or do you want to move down? And I'm asking. I got you guys on this one.
Where are we moving down to?
I got you. You know, just say the Giants want to get up to 2.
Get? What picks do I get?
Say you get their second rounder this year.
And
they want to go. They want your 2
fifth overall.
Yeah. Say you get like a second
so
and a
if
third.
I love the cornerback or whatever else, I thought, you know, if it played in, you know, that's the one thing is I trust the fact that they're gonna get, unless Jacksonville trades out or drafts the guy that they want, that they're going to be in the position. I just love the position of power, even though it's not the ultimate position of power. But they're going to do the things right. And if they value a player like the cornerback, like Sauce, Gardner, whatever, and they think they can move back to the Giants pick and then pick somebody else up, you know, maybe it's, you know, under the radar. So again, it's falling into a lot of the same lines for me as watching the Red Wings and trusting the guy in charge. So I'd like to hear you tell me that Brad Holmes coming out, yeah, we're fielding calls. Yeah, I kicked the tires on Allen Robinson. Yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, we're doing that. That's different behavior than in the past and being transparent.
No doubt.
That's more Yzerman behavior, where he tells you, if you listen, you know, what his game plan is. So, again, let's go along for this ride, this journey, and this is the interesting time.
Tammy Chin says, hell no, Team Hutch. Tyler says it would have to be a haul. D Cool says, wow, great question, y'all. I got you guys this time. I got you all trapped, don't I? Hey, Sam, I'm taking a victory lap.
I can't answer that to see the return and see what's, you know.
So the Giants call. They'll give you their second rounder this year and their third rounder this year.
And their first rounder?
Yeah, you're going to flip with them. You'll get 5. Would you take a second and a third rounder to move back 3 spots?
Projections of Aiden Hutchinson to be that solid 7, 8, 9, whatever like this, I think that where you're at right now, with what Brad Holmes has proven to do, and I'm going to just spotlight Alma Ross St. Brown from last year in the 4th round,
right?
That you're going to get 3 more players, right, in the top, you know, 90 picks or whatever like this, alongside with what else you have. I got to go with the volume.
And that's where I am with it. So what is it? Cujo Bob says, hard to know without the return. That's what it is. The Giants are on the phone. They want number 2. They'll obviously flip with you. You get number 5. You get their second rounder and their third rounder this year. But Aiden Hutchinson's available. So you taking that deal, DMac?
Yeah, I think I am.
100% I am too.
I think I am, because if where everything is as it stands, I think moving forward that you can fill a lot more gaps. Because why? Because if Hutchinson was the Nick Bosa, you know what I mean? Like if he was that TJ Watt, if he was that guy you projected him as, no, you take that guy.
Cujo Bob says, well, I'm definitely doing that then. There's enough quality edge prospects and deep wide receivers in the second.
There's just too many.
Motown Mufasa says,
Didn't Scott Bischoff tell us that, this draft was between, 20 and 15 and 50, 15 and 65. Like, you know what I mean? All the value.
That's what's going to tell the tale of this draft.
And don't you want the guy who's been telling the tale of being able to pick the right players in doing this later in the round? I like the way it sets up. So even in saying that, give this guy more picks. Again, it's the same caveat, Neal, is be prepared for Malik Willis at number 2 if they like it. Be prepared for Aiden Hutchinson if he's there at number 2 if that's their guy.
Adam Baydoun from the Morning Woodward Show, starting Monday with Terry Foster, by the way, says you draft the cocaine, Neal. We went through that yesterday. That's Adam Baydoun wants cocaine capital. I think that's what he's looking for in it. But it's an interesting question because I got you all trapped. All the Aiden Hutchinson love and everything like that, but everyone wants to move down, right? So which one are you choosing? We have it up in our YouTube chat thread, and you guys are voting on it pretty quickly. If Aiden is available at number 2, would you still move down in the draft? And again, the Giants are on the phone. They're going to give you their 2nd this year and their 3rd this year. Obviously, you're getting their number 5 overall pick too. Yes, 47%. No, 53%.
No,
I go back to what Scott Bischoff said too, DMac. For me, does Aiden Hutchinson take you to the next level? Does he take your franchise to the next level?
See, and then from what I'm hearing, it's not. He's a great piece, right? He's going to be a great piece and a great pro. But I think that next level, you might need 2 or 3 guys, and to have that higher capital value along with your 2nd, 1st round pick. It just gives you more options. Maybe you trade back into the 1st to get another guy, right? You know what I'm saying? You tell me draft capital guy. If you get those 3 picks, that just gives you more. Hey, maybe
gives you 3 rookie contracts.
The 2 first and you get to the 5th, right? Maybe you could package that with the Giants and then move back up, or I don't know. But it gives you more options, and I like the options in the hand of Holmes.
Doughboy Steve, it's Homerism, Neal. LOL. Yeah, no, it is, and it's just I'm intrigued by the question. I'm more intrigued by everyone's responses, and it's hovering right around 50-50. So that means it's a good question. That means that it struck a nerve with everybody.
And here's the one thing, right? Is where Crazy Clown says is this: if you can get a defensive end at 32 who is just as good as Hutchinson, meaning to your point, where does he fit and make the team, right? So if we're projecting Hutchinson to be a 7 to 9 sack guy, right? And there's that guy out there, you don't have to use that high quality, the high money,
for half the money.
For half the money.
Right, and that's what it takes, guys.
Well, that's where it all gets into your pocketbook.
Well, and again, like everyone's like, you're cheap, Neal. You don't want to spend any money or do anything like that. No. That's not it. The rookie contract's the weapon now. That's the weapon that it takes to compete in today's NFL. That's what it does. I'll spend the money. You guys saw this when we talked about Marcus Williams and the safety and stuff. I was fully prepared to write that check. I was ready to go $75 million on it. And the reason is I know what I'm getting with that. I know what I'm getting, commodity. And I don't know what Kyle Hamilton is. And the money's in the same vicinity. It's in the same solar system. So I think that's foolish to do the Kyle Hamilton thing and not at least kick the tires when one of the best available in the game is. So for me, it is. It's about acquiring rookie contracts and having that financial flexibility, and it's finally being valued around here. Finally.
Neal, what if I told you that if you trade back with the Giants, you have to draft Kyle Hamilton at 5?
I don't like it because, again, I don't like the money, paying the money to the safety.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So you take Hutch at 2?
No, I'd still do that trade.
Okay.
I'd do it for the extra 2nd rounder.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Because now you're picking, 32, 34,
yeah.
What are you, 39 or whatever the Giants are in this? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And
I just think bushel basket.
Right.
Right, you know what I mean? Then you could say, oh, look, who's here, who's there. because your next thought is, if we do that, what's our next move? And I wouldn't be surprised if they're because they got somebody targeted, right? Whether it's at 2 or not, and if they could get that person and maneuver around. Like, this is absolutely, you would never trust having these conversations of Bob Quinn, Matt Millen, guys in the past doing this. We'd be sitting here pulling our hair out. But the fact that it is Brad Holmes, that's what makes it exciting too. Right at the end of the day, because what I believe is, no matter what happens, we are in a better place, right, moving forward.
Yep.
Like into training camp to whatever this team is, and it'll continue to grow. And I think that I know in the NFL you can flip flop and get it going in the positive direction quick. You still got to nail that foundation, and to me, it's still deciding, like fork in the road. Are we going the San Diego way with the draft and be able to get guys later, or are we going the Los Angeles Rams and waiting to pay the quarterback, waiting to drop that money, waiting?
But under my system, both of those are available to you.
That's what I'm saying. That's why we're waiting on trust the Holmes. Hey, Holmes, trust the Holmes.
Yeah. So you talk about the Lions being in a better place. Tiger baseball being in a better place next Friday, right?
Oh my gosh, do you know why? Opening day, first one downtown in 3 years, Woodward Sports Network. All the shows are going to be down there, starting 8 a.m. at the Brass Rail with the Morning Wood Show. Then over to the amphitheater for us, the Big D Energy. There's tents, it's outside, it's across from the Gem Theater. Then back over to the Brass Rail after the game or during the game, 2 to 4. The bottom line's going to be there. The whole Woodward Sports Network crew taking over the D. We expect you to see you downtown if you like parties and live broadcast, DJs, booze, fun, shenanigans, and a keg holding competition. So come and get your picture taken with the Woodward heavyweights. They'll be out there posing all day long. So all day, get down there early, get downtown early. It's going to be a great time. That's next Friday. Wow, it's coming quick. Not Friday, April 8th in the D. Wow, it's opening day. Join us, Woodward Sports Network. Big D Energy, Neal Rule, Darren McCarty. We'll be right back.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
We all know a Guardian Alarm, they get it, and you can too. Residential, commercial, it doesn't matter. The security experts, yes, your local security experts that have your back. I tell you all the time, you can control your lights, your temperatures. Smoke detector will go off, alert you to your phone, or even the silent killer carbon monoxide when you sleep. So if you want to be part of the Big D Woodward Sports Network family, I need you to call this number, 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Everybody on this Thirsty Thursday, hit them up in the roast. 1-800.
Stay out. Get out of my house.
Sammy Flannel's got Guardian Alarm. To protect the flannels, you can too. Call Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Tell them Woodward Sports Network sent you.
What up? Welcome back. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, getting deep here into the second hour of the show. My name is Neal Rule. That guy is DMac, Darren McCarty. We got Sam Flannel. We got Spencer in the house as well, but we're talking about the Detroit Lions right now. I'm patting myself on the back. I'm doing the old Iron Mike Sharp. I'm patting myself on the back right now because I think it's a great question. If Aiden Hutchinson was available at number 2 and the Giants called and said, we'll give you our second rounder, our third rounder, to flip first round picks with you. So you'll be picking at number 5. You'll get the Giants second rounder and their third rounder. Would you take the deal and move down, or would you take Aiden Hutchinson? 52% of you say no, you would take Aiden Hutchinson. And I can't get with that one, man. I can't. And people here in this room seem to be you're on board.
Oh yeah, I'm on board.
Right, Spencer?
I'm trading down. We can get Boy Mafe. We can take Jordan Davis at 5. We can still get Kayvon Thibodeau at 5. So I'm definitely trading down.
Sam Flannel.
I would still trade down because, like,
this is a Michigan fan. Everybody, this is a slappy.
Like Spencer said, you could still get a guy like Kayvon Thibodeau, maybe even Trayvon Walker, and then with the other picks, because it's a very deep draft, you get other pieces because the Lions still have a lot of needs. And I don't think Aiden Hutchinson is that much better than like a Thibodeau or a Walker. Just me personally. I mean, you could argue that Thibodeau and Walker even have bigger upsides. I mean, we've talked about that, right?
Right. And it's intriguing, too, because everyone in the comments is saying, yes, I would take that deal. But 51% of the votes say no, that they would take Aiden Hutchinson. That's weird. I know I'm getting a little deep right now in the psychology of things. Craig, I need to borrow your VCR right quick. Come on, Craig.
Hey, how about this one where Chuck says 2 reasons I like not getting Aiden: more draft capital, and 2, if we end up the same old Lions, I don't want my Michigan players stuck here in a terrible spot.
All right, that's fair.
How much is buyer's remorse to the fact of you don't want to get caught in the system? And I think this, the PTSD of what happened in the past, but I firmly do believe, and I'm not officially speaking on it until the clock runs out, but we're heading in the right direction. And as the clock sat idle, as the pontoon is rested in the dock for this off season, I really like what I'm seeing out of Allen Park, and from the combine to the Senior Bowl to the hiring of Ben Johnson to the communication to even the fact that I don't know why Rod Wood's talking about they have their quarterback. I'd like to hear Brad Holmes or Dan Campbell say that, but the fact is that they're committed to their project and moving forward in the way that they're doing it. And I can see the timeline. So I like what they're doing. They're not getting ahead of themselves like everybody else does. Now. There's no hype. Do you feel like they're, no matter what it is? And here's the other thing, too, Neil. Most of the time when there's a Michigan guy down the road or whatever, the top guy is that everybody be clamoring, he's got to come here. He's only got to come here if they say that he's the right guy for here. And I think everybody's sort of accepting that. Now, I agree. Everybody says, like, by their opinion, he is the best guy, right? It's not the fact that he is a Michigan guy. You hear Adam and Juicy and all these guys, well, his tape's the best. Yeah, well, I also saw what I saw, eyeball test and stuff like this, so it all depends on what this regime thinks with what they're moving forward in the system that they're going to play.
Paul Johnsonish says you can get Hutch in 3 years when Jacksonville or whoever cuts him instead of paying him anyway. Oh, that would cut deep on you, didn't it, Sam Flannel?
That's not going to happen. He's going to be a terrific player. He's not going to bust. I just don't know if he's going to be game-changing, like the Bosa brothers, for example, or the Watt brothers. Like, that's the type of player you need to be if you're selected that high.
Yep. Yeah, Paul also says we'll either get 4 starters out of the draft or 3 starters and a project quarterback. Brad Holmes is definitely on the right track. And they bagged 3 starters with the potential gold jacket guy in the last draft. Yeah. And I think, too, that people think that Brad Holmes will just sprinkle the fairy dust on the draft and then, boom, you'll have 7 starters that are all in the Pro Bowl. That's not it. If you hit 50%, or close to 50%, that's incredible. That if you get 3 starters out of a draft, that's an incredible draft. And I don't care where they came from. I don't care if they were picked at 2, picked at 32, picked at 88, 115. It doesn't matter to me. If you get 3 starters out of a draft, you're doing work. And one of those dudes has gold jacket potential, you're doing work.
Absolutely. That's why last year in Brad Holmes' track record to getting guys on the field odes well to this conversation about giving him draft capital, giving him more picks, because he knows what he's doing with them. You don't want to give a guy picks that he doesn't know what he's doing with them. I had a question, Neil. Did you see the conversation about Lions uniforms?
Yeah, I did.
Did you like?
I know everybody loses their mind. And they like to talk about it and stuff like that.
I do. Don't you?
Let's show the
swag gear.
Yeah,
and
we got to show the people, Spencer. The whole Lions uniform thing, and the throwbacks, the grays, the blacks, all that kind of stuff.
The blacks are so sweet.
I think they were.
Yeah.
Because the team was so bad, I think they got overlooked. Now, for me, I really love the throwbacks.
Yeah. I just don't like the helmet. It's so boring to me. There's just silver helmet.
Which one you love?
I love the blacks.
The throwbacks in the middle there.
Throwbacks are great. I like the black ones, like sort of on the road. I'm not a big fan of the white ones. I like all three of those jerseys.
Yeah, I do too. I'm a fan of I like everybody's color rush. I'm in the minority. I think the color rushes are sweet for all the teams.
Thursday night was for.
Thursday night was for color rush.
Eagles are bringing back
sunglasses in the living room.
Those super green ones.
Yeah, the Randall Cunningham
ones. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that people always get caught up in the uniform stuff, and it's cool. Like I get it. I understand why people do, but I mean, for me, it's just. I think we value it a little too much, but the blacks are sweet.
But here's the thing. We haven't had anything to value with our football club except for our uniform or our decal or our logo or whatever. I think we can all agree we don't care what it looks like as long as you win and get to the playoffs and win a playoff game, right?
Yeah.
I always thought, it always brings it up is because you see that retro black and red Red Wing jersey. We never wore it though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I always thought that would be cool to wear.
Oh yeah.
I liked it in Calgary. We wore the black ones with the big horse head on. Those were on. That was awful. That was awful. But the flame jersey's fire.
Yeah, it is. What do you got, Spencer?
My favorite Wings jersey were the Winter Classic ones from I think it was 14, where it's got like the cream accents. I got a Datsun one of those. I love those.
Yeah,
ones. Yeah, those are really sweet.
I just don't like on the hockey jerseys when they have like the like how the Rangers used to wear when they had Gretzky with the rope coming out.
You don't like the old school 1940
no,
rope
I don't
thing?
like that, man. I don't like that stuff. I don't. But
that's sort of the nostalgia.
I do notice so, and everyone that's talking in our YouTube chat thread, the black jerseys, man, are everybody loves it or everybody hates them.
I think blacks looks good on any uniform, and I think
so
Lions
too.
need that in there. They're so cool.
Motown cool, not those black unis. Love the trimmer on the numbers and the stripes on the sleeves. The black uniforms just taking all kinds of slander.
Either like it or I do. There is somebody with PTSD on there about the blue jerseys not being able to win anything. Get rid of those. So
and I think that's the hate with the black jerseys too, because that was a clown era of Lions football. But then again, a lot of it's been a clown era of Lions football.
There's been more clown era than not clown era.
Right. I think, you know what I associate, though? What do you guys associate with the black jerseys? For me, it's always going to be like Roy Williams.
Yeah.
Roy Williams.
John Kitna.
Mike Williams, Big Mike Williams, BMW.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that picture we had up was Calvin, so those are, you got to love that. But yeah, Roy Williams,
John
Mike
Kitna
Williams,
running around.
John Kitna, yeah, it's
stuff
tough
like
football
that.
to remember.
I don't know. You either like them or you don't like them, I guess.
Steve Brown, I'm a huge Barry era throwbacks. The color rush have grown on me, and I like the white unis. The black jersey is an era we need to forget. See, bingo, that's it. That's the problem with the black. It's not the black jersey. Yeah. It's the fact that Roy Williams was wearing it.
It's who was wearing it.
And Mike Williams was wearing it. See? We drill down into the psychology here, man. We dig deep on this show, and I'm here for it, man. I like it. I do. We figured some things out. I do want to get into the Brad Holmes discussion, though, real quick, just in the next segment about the Jared Goff stuff. And do you guys get into that whole tip in your hand for the draft and all that? We'll get into that. Do you want to talk about Riley Greene? The Buffalo Bills are building a stadium, and the people are paying for most of it. And I want to know what people's threshold is for public, the corporate welfare, I guess you could say. So I want to see what people's threshold are. I'll tell you what my threshold is for good vodka. Gypsy vodka, hard stop. That's what my threshold is for good vodka. It's Michigan's gluten-free vodka. 50 different formulas, countless taste tests. Gypsy, the best tasting, smoothest vodka on the market. It's gluten-free, corn distilled 6 times, uses artesian spring water. And you can support local guys from right here in Michigan. Ask for it by name. It's Gypsy Vodka. As always, drink responsibly.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Rule, DMac, Darren McCarty. We got Spencer Raxter, we got Sam Flannel. We are rolling. YouTube chat poll. If Aiden Hutchinson was available at number 2, would you still trade down in the draft? I gave the scenario. The Giants are calling. They want to flip first-round picks with you. They'll give you their second and their third this year. Would you do the deal? And it keeps going back and forth. It's pretty much 50-50 on that. So I guess it was a good question. So, with that being said, Brad Holmes came out and has been very supportive of Jared Goff. And a lot of people are making a lot about that, DMac. Some people say, why would you do that? It throws people off the scent. If you want to take a quarterback at number 2, how do you make the pick valuable? How do you make your pick valuable if you're saying that? And look, for me, the Lions coming out saying we have a quarterback. We don't have to force a quarterback at number 2. For everyone that tells me, no, I'm Malik Willis, right, and there's a lot, then you're cool with Jared Goff. And it's fine. Like, he's the bridge guy and everything like that. He's fine. His money, believe it or not, is becoming somewhat tolerable at around $30 million per year as we see
comparably.
Comparably, as the quarterback salaries escalate more and more. But with all that being said, for those of you that are anti-Malik Willis, then you're pro Jared Goff, right? Because you got to be one or the two. Or do you? Am I off base here, DMac?
I don't think so. I think that it comes down to when you look at your general manager in any sport, is he a good poker player, right? No matter what he's telling you. I think more of this Goff is more to throw the Baker Mayfield line off, and the fact is if Malik Willis is the guy, then they're going to draft him to play under Goff and develop. That doesn't change, right? Yeah, Goff's their guy now, right? But is Goff their guy in 2 years? We don't know. I think that maybe that when you throw that off too, does that make teams think that he's going to drop or they're not taking it? I don't know, because how do people speculate? Like it's almost like looking in from the outside and going, is he being 100% genuine on this? And I think most of the time, just like anything in negotiations, 75-80%, but there's some holdback, and that's what the best guys do. So I believe they're all playing poker right now, and the transparency is because they're dictating what they throw out there and what they throw off, right? They're not reacting. They're acting. They're answering. They're directing the fan base and the rest of the league, to their narrative instead of reacting to everybody else's narrative.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying Goff's a bridge. Steve Brown, Goff is a bridge, but Willis isn't the answer.
Don't you?
Oh, yeah, 1,000,000% he is. And here's my only concern, my only knock, and I've held pretty firm on this, DMac, with the new regime, and I've loved everything they've done. I even love the chances they took with the receivers, even though they didn't work out. Why? There was no long-term penalty.
Right, that's the whole thing, the buyout and everything else, and maybe Goff can, because of what we saw at the second half of the year and, the correlation between Dan Campbell taking over the play call and understanding that Ben Johnson, who's now the offensive coordinator, had a say in it. We don't know that if he is or isn't. Pittston Fan 11 brings up a great point. They said we have a quarterback. Not, but he is a quarterback of our future, or he is our quarterback. You know what I'm saying? They haven't given him all the keys. They've given him the code, but the code can change.
Polaris Holmes says Sauce Gardner over Malik Willis. I'm sorry, guy, but like 84% of you were on board with Malik Willis over Sauce Gardner. But that was death, not an option, which is always a great poll move to go to. My only knock on the whole Brad Holmes regime so far, they seem to really be attached to Jared Goff. And I understand, and you guys actually helped me understand it to some degree, the adding the year of the deal, which I get why they did that, because then you can expand the signing bonus hit to clear up some cap space. So they did that for a year. Got a little tickle, as far as cap space goes. I get that. But I am... What's your level of concern, I guess, and I'll ask you guys, what's your level of concern with the marriage with this regime to Jared Goff?
What I see more with Goff now, and absolutely the flag is, but it's more of the person that he is and what they're building and the culture, right? Goff is more of a company guy. When you say he's not one to speak out, like as far as like Baker Mayfield's more of an opinionated guy. I feel like, obviously we know Aaron Rodgers or even Patrick Mahomes, is going to say stuff. Jared Goff's going to go with the flip. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, lack of a better term, but your quarterback is like another coach, part of the coaching staff, because he's going to go with the flow in the program. And who says that this conversation hasn't been? This is the game plan. Because here's the thing. Goff can still go out and prove to the rest of us that he's the guy. And right now, it's more in the trust that he's the best guy for the job right now, right? To your point, because it's draft capital and whatever else, it's the best situation that we're in, and he's the best guy to have because not only the contract, but, he's easygoing. He seems like teammates like him. He's a good dude. He's more California chill than a lot of things, and I think that that's what they need out of the quarterback position. Then they sort of need that alpha male, because your alpha's coming from your coach right now. You know what I mean? And
right.
They build together. So if your coach is the alpha, boisterous quote machine, right? Your yang to that is your quarterback, who's quiet, who's, you know what I'm saying, and then the GM. So I see how it works, and I see more because of how it progressed throughout the season after guys started learning each other. Remember, this is the first year that they're together, Neil. So I separated into two different seasons from what I saw. What I saw is comfortability. I saw guys working hard. I saw the fact that the team gave it their all. The talent wasn't there, but they're figuring it out together. That's what I felt this year. Is there's the togetherness and they work for the process, and now it leads them into the draft in year 2, and they know the direction that they want to go. And right now they're saying that Jared Goff, for whatever reason, whether we like it or not, but that's who they're going with. That's their quarterback. That's their goaltender. That's like Stevie trading for Ned. Giving up third rounder, that's who I'm going to go with. And that's what they're saying. So whether we like this, that, or whatever, we're going to find out at the fork of the road which way these guys go.
Yeah, and like I said, I understand the logic behind doing what they did.
Isn't it more concerning if you got to re-up, right? When we're having the conversation about Jared Goff, you got to pay him $40 million a year. That's the conversation. Whoa. Right now, because where he fits in, where the contract is, how it doesn't handicap the rest of the team. You look at what's going on around the rest of the league, teams trying to figure it out. That's where you look back and go, okay, we're not in a bad position here. We're actually in the best position we probably have been in years.
Sure. And here's why, too. And I didn't want to...
Competency-wise. Not saying talent-wise on the field, but everything together, the competency of the direction of the organization. Now, I'm not going to say they're competent, because they have to prove it. They have to win, but they're going in the right direction.
Yeah, and I did want to bring this up, too, with talking about Brad Holmes and Lions regime, because I know there were a lot of pro-Allen Robinson people on here, and I was actually surprised by the way that people were losing their mind about the Allen Robinson. Give him $15 million, get him in here. We need receivers, we need weapons and stuff like that. And our own Corey Woods sent a tweet out yesterday that he had his sources that said that the Allen Robinson to the Lions thing was very real. It was very real. And they were in the running. They were in the discussion. And to me, I'm actually glad that it played out the way it played out. Because while I was very staunchly against that.
Staunchly.
Very.
You were very staunchly against that, Mr. Wing
I was wing-snobbingly against that one.
Chopping on your...
I was. And I said, hey, I'm not interested at any price. Certainly double-digit millions, I'm not interested. However, I was encouraged to find out that they were that they were kicking the tires on it, that they were having the discussion. And what made me encouraged about it was it got to this is my impression. I didn't talk to any sources or anything like that, but I don't think I'm that far off. I'm encouraged by the fact that they had the discussion, they had a threshold in mind. Once the talks got past that threshold, they said, hey, Good conversation. Enjoy talking to you. Good luck with what happens.
Well, it's the caveat. You look at DJ Chark, right? Where the deal that he signed, where the win-win, where it's come in and produce and show coming off the injury that you can be the guy, and then you know what? Maybe you'll get the money. Like, it's looking for that opportunity. Allen Robinson, wanted the payday, so I love the fact that Detroit had a plan. They kicked the tires. They talked about it, and then they said not all decisions are going to be great. But it's the same thing as if whoever they choose at 2 or if they trade down, the decision's being made by the right guy.
Again, there's no long-term mistakes that have been made where we just got rid of a long-term mistake that Brad Holmes had to bear the brunt of with the Trey Flowers situation. And look, he was a good dude in the community and everything like that, but the bottom line is, and I think he will be the first one to tell you, Trey Flowers didn't make enough plays. That's it. There's a very fine line in this business, DMac, as you know. You perform, you get rewarded. You don't perform, you get cut. It will happen to me someday in this business. It will happen to all of us at some point. Someday hopefully it's a long time down the road, but someday you don't provide the value anymore.
Well,
there's no return.
That's what you're looking for, right? And the fact that you being draft capital guy is sort of like looking through the weeds and seeing down the journey, down the train tracks and stuff like this, that at the end of the day, it can all play out, right? That's what we're hoping for, because it's competency. Not only, you want the competent coach, but you need the competent front office. Right, and we're steering towards it. We're not there yet, but the path that we're on, we finally got on the right road. We got off that rocky dirt road that didn't have the exit. Whatever, we're back on the highway. It feels like to me.
Right, and that's where it is. And I like the moves. I like everything about it. Again, I'll double down. They will win a playoff game under Brad Holmes, which is an incredible statement, especially for somebody who's been as critical of the Lions organization as I have been.
Yeah. No, what's your terminally ill Lions buddy? Where's he at right now?
He's excited because I'm buying in.
Okay,
I'm not saying that from like an ego thing.
Yeah.
Because we would have drag out,
dude. When
verbal battles.
All you gotta say is you know what you're dealing with, but your buddy's self-awareness of being terminally ill Lions fan,
right.
And I know you don't let him off the hook to that. So the fact that you've turned it around and you sort of see it, but that's what I love. That's the way you and I are. Because why Sam Flannel on Big D Energy? What do we do?
When new information presents itself, you're allowed to change your opinion.
There you go. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Another thing that I love is telling you guys about my bookie, because look, the Final Four is this weekend, everybody. We're getting down to it. You know who the combatants are. Major League Baseball starting next week. We'll be out there at opening day, so make sure you check us out there at opening day. But if you want to get down on the action, mybookie.ag is the play. Use the promo code Woodward and you sign up. They'll match your first deposit up to 50%. So that gets you in the game. You want to take a spin? Riley Greene at Rookie of the Year, around 15-1. Boom, there you go. Take that deposit, put it down. Really make some money, because I think that has a really good shot at playing out. It's all out there for you at mybookie.ag. Very clean interface, very smooth. Everything runs well on there. That's a big key to all this stuff as well. Sure, you can use the promo code Woodward. Get your first deposit matched up to 50%. That is cool. But the way mybookie.ag runs, the clean interface, the speed, live betting, all of it, it's all there for you. That's why I recommend mybookie.ag. You can bet on anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Have a problem with gambling? Call the Michigan Gambling Helpline, 1-800-270-7117.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Back at it, coming on the stretch. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Rule, DMac, Darren McCarty, Sam Plano, Sawyer as well. I did want to talk about this because I think it's something that we continue to see, that we continue to shake our head at, I guess you would say. The Buffalo Bills are finally building a new stadium. And it's a fine line, right? I think we can all agree the Buffalo Bills needed a new stadium. But what they're going to do is they're going to build a new stadium right there in Orchard Park, so they're not moving to Toronto or anything like that. 30-year deal, $1.4 billion stadium, which is about the going rate for these stadiums these days. They want it to open in 2026. That's not news. They needed a new stadium. The news part of it, according to the Buffalo News, $850 million of that stadium, of the upfront cost, will be from public financing. And you're getting to the point now where that's, I'm not a huge math guy, but you're running at a little bit more than half of that stadium being paid for by taxpayers when obviously you have rich owners. And this is an age-old argument in sports, right? Like we talk about this stuff all the time. How much is too much? How much? And look, both things are true. Do they provide some public benefit? Yeah, I think they do. Does Little Caesars Arena provide some public benefit to Detroit? Absolutely. That's a very fair statement.
But how much?
But at the same time, these stadiums that are team financed, these stadiums, these studies on the economic impact of these stadiums, that is team financed, that they hire the people that they want to hire to conduct these studies. Those are always grossly overstated, like economic impact and everything like that a stadium has. My question is, how much is too much? Because I do believe to some point the public does benefit from them, and you can kick in on them.
But here's the whole thing, right?
But at what degree?
Here's the whole thing, especially with these, and it's it's the forward investment, right? Yeah, when does it pay off? Right? We're living in some sort of, look at the district, Detroit. It hasn't been done. Now LCA, yeah, but everything around it. So my whole thing is when you get into the people's pocket and stuff like this, somebody has to sign off on it. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is happening more. I think, they're all different. I think that this is sort of you got to weigh the pros and the cons. Buffalo needed a new stadium, the state of New York, and I think it would be asked the people of the area, because what does this mean tax-wise and stuff like this? Now, when do they benefit? When do they see the benefit of that? 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road? I think a lot of times when you come to these big projects, it's almost like the roads here in Michigan. Hopefully we're around when they get done. You know what I'm saying? So people, I think that they're bitter because of not enjoying it or the big picture. But again, you have to ask the Buffalo people. Maybe, I see some comments that some New York residents are unhappy about it. But there had to be, a vote on it. And here's the one thing, Neal, is that I look and the $850 million, that's over half by the taxpayers.
Over half.
So
and to give everyone
to
give everyone some perspective, Little Caesars Arena, the public paid about 38% of it.
Right.
62% of it was privately financed. I'm wondering what the line is.
You know what? I get it. What is the win-win? 30% of the city, 40% of the city chipping in the taxpayers. I don't believe when you get over that 50-50 mark, at least, that where the benefit is there. So maybe there is. Maybe it's in the plan. You know what I'm saying? You haven't broke down the plan and stuff like this. But again, what was LCA? What was LCA built for?
32% of the money was paid by the public.
So how much was the total of LCA?
What was the total? It was $863 million.
So again, look at 1 point. You're talking a facility, right? That's $600 million more than what LCA is. So that's where. And is it New York taxes? Is it this? Is it that? Is it the the area that it's in, all these sort of questions. But when it's over 50%, right, that the people are paying
and that's
for
exactly where I was with it. Like that. Yeah.
Well, here's the whole thing. What did Jerry World, what did Jerry World, sort of go for, and how much money did he put into it? Like, it's all these stadiums. It just seems that that's a little much for the taxpayers, in my opinion, right? So, I mean, you look at, are we one of the cities, with Ford Field, Comerica Park, LCA, we've had the influx, sort of the latest, even though the, Comerica Park's 20 years old, right? Like stuff like this. So the price of poker is going up, Neil. And the price of poker goes up for everybody. So maybe this is just inflation like the gas.
The city kicked in $325 million.
So that's right there.
And that covered cost overruns. The city also gave the Cowboys a $150 million loan, but that'll be paid back creatively, I'm sure.
That's fine. Is this money towards it that gets paid back or whatever else? So you're telling me that Jerry World and only $300 million, that thing has to be over $1 billion, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Is it because it's New York? Is it because it's a tax thing? You know what I'm saying? These are the questions. But to me,
and that stadium's actually owned by the city. Jones pays $2 million a year rent to it, plus 5% from the naming rights. So
that's sort of like Mr. I's deal with Joe Louis back in the day, where he paid $1
right
every year to sort of lease it.
I wonder where people's temperature is for this stuff, right? And we're seeing it here. Pistons fan 11. We know plenty about this kind of crap with District Detroit. Mark Guy, and he I think this is relevant too. Even worse, Neil, the people didn't get a chance to vote for the stadium. It's just pushed on to them. And for me, and I don't know, because has the sentiment shifted? I think the sentiment shifted to where if you put this stuff up for a vote, it's going to get shot down.
Right.
I think that's why you don't get a chance to vote for it anymore.
That's what it is. That's, so now we're getting into the politics. And again, here, at the end of the day, Neil, what are we talking about? We're talking about the NFL. So the rules don't apply. Even when we're talking about this, right? You look at SoFi, $5 billion. You know what I'm saying? But Kroenke put up like a lot of the money. So it's a matter of when you get it done or how you get it done. But if you don't, like, the political ties to this and to see, what's coming back. So is Buffalo City owned? Do the taxpayers have part of, that's a big conversation to it also, of getting it done, right? It just seems that that's a big number for taxpayers.
Yeah. Again, and that's what caught my eye about it.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought I'd chop it up and kind of get the people's
Well, because the first thing is,
on
anytime you see taxpayers, right, because you're a taxpayer and you're like, if this was in Michigan and whatever, how would you feel? Well, you're ending up paying for it somehow, right? So you're not going to be happy. And I think you made up a great point, is that if it has a sentiment change, if it was put to a vote, it probably wouldn't get voted on.
and that's why they just eliminate the voting process.
That's why it's all so. Does timing mean anything? Does anything else? Like, the NFL is so calculated, especially when it comes to this.
Well, I think it's a lot like free agency, where the market's set, where these owners right now will go to the city. And I think Buffalo may have been in a unique position.
Because now they sort of like, hey, it's now or never, or not now or never, but the team's right there. So the carrot.
Well, the threat was real to say, hey, we'll move.
Right, exactly.
We'll move and go up the road to Toronto.
And you have a good team. So somebody's going to pick up your team. That's the difference, is they're Super Bowl ready. So anybody else out there who wants to buy a team, that conversation is legitimate, right? Because there's somebody with money out there that says, oh, man, this Buffalo team, you never know who's a fan to make it happen. So it was sort of using the leverage against the city, right?
And Robert Colosia listens to us in San Diego. So we in San Diego had a couple referendums voted down, but a lot of it had to do with the owner not bringing enough money to the table. Taxpayers don't like greedy millionaires. And it went terminal. It went to, they said, if you do not approve this stadium, we are leaving.
Yep.
And we are going to Los Angeles. And that's it. And San Diego people said, hey, we love the Chargers. And I love Jack Murphy Stadium. I liked it more when the Padres played there, and during the football games, the baseball infield was still on the football. I still love that to this day.
Candlestick.
The Astrodome. I mean, all of them. I loved football games on baseball fields, and I don't know why, but I just did. It was great. The dirt and all that stuff. It was cool. But it went terminal there, and they moved the Chargers out of San Diego. And I guess that's my question to you guys is what's the number? What's a percentage where you say, you know what, then just take your team and leave? Would we do that here?
No.
See, I don't think we would either.
I don't think so.
I think we would blink.
There's too much money around the city with the big shooters that they wouldn't let it go anywhere. You know what I mean? The money that you don't even know the guy's name.
Right. I wonder what our tolerance here would be to the point where we would say, all right, goodbye.
I think that our tolerance is you hear with the way that District Detroit was promised. So I don't think you're going anywhere with anything else until that's sort of finished off, because we're still waiting for that to follow through to the promises.
Tammy Chin says sounds like the Arizona Coyotes, and yet they're the team that nobody wants. Like they're like, if you don't give us a stadium, we'll leave. And they're like, goodbye.
5,000 seat.
They're playing
stadium.
at Arizona State's campus arena.
That's
and not even the basketball
That's
one.
where my son coaches, UCLA Division II.
Yeah.
That's where they play their games.
Yeah.
Yep. So
like,
I told him he's moving all up. He made it to the NHL.
They should have slid through Fraser Hockeyland, man.
Could have. That's a great spot. That's
Hell
an
yeah.
old school barn. Love the fans in that place.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's what they should have done.
Good ice over at Fraser.
Neal Rule here for Planet Fitness. It's home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. Membership starts at just $10 a month. Black card option is a play as well. Just $22.99 a month. Yes, less than $1 per day. We'll get you unlimited tanning, the massage chairs, the hydro massage, and access to over 2,000 locations worldwide with unlimited guest privileges. Join today in club or online at planetfitness.com. Right now, $0 down, $10 a month. It's Planet Fitness, DMac, where your fitness
is essential.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Hi, my diamonds, it's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Neal Rule here for Chili Peppers Tanning, the cleanest salons in the D. They got spotless, sanitized rooms with trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. Get your unlimited tanning on. They sell the Australian Gold Designer Skin Caltan Swedish Beauty Lotions. That last one is Spencer's favorite. Don't forget to pick up all the beauty lotions. The whole line is available for you at Chili Peppers Tanning. They got the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. They are your vitamin D headquarters. Go to chilipepperstanning.com. Find out which of the 26 locations works best for you. It's Chili Peppers Tanning. Final segment of the show. Neal Rule, DMac, Darren McCarty. We got Sam Flannel. We got Spencer here in the house as well. Happy to have y'all along for the ride. Big time viewership numbers today. Listener engagement, all of it. Appreciate all y'all tapping in to Big D Energy. USA qualified for the World Cup last night, DMac. We brought up the option yesterday. They would have got in with a loss of 5-0 or less, which they lost 2-0, so they got in. I asked a question yesterday, would you forfeit? Because if you forfeit, you take a 3-0 loss. DMac was yes. Wait a minute. Do I get paid? Yes, DMac, you get paid. Then, yeah, we'll take the forfeit. We'll stay in Costa Rica. We'll go to the beach and all that stuff.
Hey, long as nobody got hurt, right? And like as Fish said, it was a mailed in, or I saw Robert Closius say, it was like a forfeit. It was like a playing forfeit, right? Unenthused. Because my biggest concern also too is that when you're trying not to get hurt, that's when you get hurt. When you're trying not to expand it, so they got the job done. They did what they needed to do. Like you said, it didn't matter. So maybe on the flip side, it was what we were talking about. They needed the preparation. They needed the game more to prepare to get ready. But it didn't seem that way. I would have thought more of a enthusiastic effort.
Yeah, but you do what's required, right?
Yeah,
and that's why and our guy Fish came in.
Yeah, going into that game that they were playing, it is like, okay, we can lose 5-0. You're not trying to lose 5-0,
right?
But you play a little bit safer,
sure,
slower,
sure, and that's where it was for me. And Fish came in. He's like our resident soccer guy here at Woodward, and he's like, Neal, I really don't like the way USA played last night. Wouldn't you rather have, tried and got a win and go? I said, and here's the deal with it. It's a pass-fail scenario. And this is where even the non-soccer people that watch the show and listen to the show, I'll ask you guys this. You want your team in the World Cup, right? Even if you're not a soccer person, you want your team in the World Cup. And I told Fish, I said, it's a pass-fail scenario. He's like, well, you don't care that they look bad? No, I don't care. They're in. Pass-fail.
Right.
They're in. It's like a senior year of high
Canada
school.
looked worse yesterday, and they're in. So, it's a pass-fail.
They look like a team that knew they were in, too.
Absolutely.
That's just the way it is.
Let me ask you this, because you covered soccer, whatever. Is that more of the standard? Is where you could tell, because, you know what I mean? That's a 2-0 loss to qualify as a win.
100%.
So mentally, is there different games to go in where you know what you have to do? So the lack of enthusiasm or maybe the urgency isn't there? Because I think on both teams that had already qualified, you saw lack of urgency.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, and like the Costa Rica thing, DMac, they got 1,000,000% humidity. They got great fans.
So do you think, boom, right there. Do you think because of playing in Qatar, and I know that it's not going to be the middle of the weather's not going to be the same, and it goes back, I guess I answered my own question because it goes back to what happens in March. Doesn't play out in December, but maybe the climate could have been similar, so they wanted to give them a taste of that. You know what I mean? To know what you're going to prepare for. So that would be a question. Similar climate. There's got to be a reason that they played it. The reason that the team played it oversees the reason I thought they shouldn't play. Because they're the coach, and that's the team. And they were, what did I say? No matter what decision they'd make, if they're all in it together.
Yeah.
So that could be something to it.
And here's the deal. Mark Guy, I think, says this very well. It's the only time I watch soccer, the World Cup. I watch the men's and the women's. It's why it was critical that they got in. It was. I know some of you don't care. I understand that. But I think it was critical that the USA got in the World Cup. Certainly because of the Mark guys out there. And there's a very big segment of it. And you guys will watch. You'll say, there's the section of you guys that say you won't watch. You will when the World Cup comes on and USA's playing. You'll watch. They'll watch.
No, but you have to. And then I think it goes down to the conversation about when you have somebody that's bigger on the national stage like Christian Pulisic. You know what I'm saying? It gives you something to watch. Not only your country, but also, too, it leads you into the Premier League. It leads you in all the other leagues because you start knowing players, right? The World Cup's really good at letting you know who the best player or the great players in each country. There's names you've never known before that stick in your mind.
Right.
I always go back to the Netherlands and Man U and Ruud van Nistelrooy. You know what I'm saying? That's just the coolest. And it's always that. And I always love the Netherlands, too. In the soccer or whatever, because they always have the goaltender, but they're always like that. Maybe it's because Holland's there. And I like
Gromit says USA missed out 4 years ago. And that's why I think it was absolutely critical. There was no option other than to make the World Cup. And they did.
And I think low-key, this is a country that our soccer fans, at least to play. A lot of the young kids, girls, boys, everything plays. I mean, we mentioned it when we talk about women's hockey, but women's soccer is great too. The Women's World Cup and stuff like this, that's also sort of like a lot of pride in that. And I know when the U.S. team won the shootout, Brady Chastain, all that, everybody was stoked for it. So there's some national pride out there in the soccer field.
Wrapping up the YouTube chat poll, if Aiden Hutchinson was available at number 2, would you still move down in the draft? 52% of you said no, 48% of you said yes. So people think that Aiden Hutchinson's going to be a franchise-changing player, right? That's Sam Flannel? That's the line in the sand that everyone's taken?
I mean, if he's the number 2 pick, he has to be, or else it's not a good pick.
There you go. So there you have it. Detroit Dabber 3-on-3 USA won't have to qualify again until 2030 since we're hosting and have an automatic bid. Precisely. That's why it was absolutely critical for them to get in. They did get in. DMac got in today, and I'm happy he did. Good show out of him, Sam Flannel. Spencer, you guys were on point as always. Hey, tomorrow, Friday, DMac. You're with us tomorrow, right?
Oh, yeah.
WrestleMania.
We're
doing a segment.
WrestleMania.
We're doing
my
a segment.
Guy Stone Cold gonna stun and have a beer bath over Kevin Owens. We'll talk about it tomorrow. And The Undertaker retirement.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.